All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope you're having a great morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Happy Thursday. Yes. Happy.
Yep.
Happy Thursday, guys. Good morning, Norm. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, Carlos. How about yourself? You sound a lot better, man.
Yeah, I do sound a lot better. Hopefully, this thing is behind me and I'm heading on the way out of this nastiness. But yeah, definitely a lot better this morning. And looks like our watch list is also feeling a lot better this morning. So we got our work cut out for us here quite a bit on here with some good percentages too. You can see this here down
Yep.
5%, 11, 23. We got 35 up, 20 up, 10, 8. These are some very good, interesting numbers. Hopefully, when we get into that stuff, it does not look like garbage in there with the actual details. Um, let's look at some fun stuff from yesterday, guys. So let's look at our top plays and highlights from yesterday's trading. Here you can see ADSK. Again, just on fire. Norm, I know you took this
Beast.
for a couple of runs yesterday. You did long and short on this, right?
No, it was just too long. So I took my first long on the at the bottom of the third 5 minute candle, rode it to the stop, took a few partials up near the top, and then stopped out the rest as it broke down through VWAP. When it couldn't lose VWAP, and I saw it make a higher low at the 10:05, 10:10 candle there. It failed to make a new low on the tiny white candle. I took it just before the break of that next big candle as it broke through VWAP. And that one, I think I was in at 131.88 and got out the last bit of it at over 138. So
Wow, very
it was,
nice.
yeah, it was a heck of a run on that yesterday. And I considered holding some of it overnight. It was just so strong.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. And I started my morning with a little FOMO when I started looking at news a couple of hours ago. So,
Yeah, I agree, man. This thing was just hit right out of the park. Here's the baseball bat with the ball. It's just again one of these stocks that you look at the daily, you look at the daily here, and it's like, your short buy. This thing is down quite a bit, lost its resistance here. I'm sorry, support, and then out of nowhere it opens up, and then it just takes off nicely. So again, just a beautiful trade on ADSK yesterday. Does not get cleaner than that, guys. That is very, very clean. And just follows his moving average, right? We talked about this in class 4 last night, part 2 of class 4, about these stocks that break out of the VWAP and then they come back, find a support within a moving average, usually the 9 on the 5, and it just takes off nicely. You can see how this plays out. Tiffany also, TIF was also a great opening range breakup. Not easy to take though, because look at this 1 minute. This thing took off with a lot of strength. Viewers watching this out of nowhere. William was trading live. He called it out saying, man, this looks like it wants to take off. And 2 seconds later, it just pops for, what is this?
yeah,
We're
that
looking
was
at a
insane.
79, pops over to 83 bucks. So again, that's a very tough trade to take. You got to be very fast, and again, it's just it was insane. But then it settles down. It does give you this beautiful pullback here on the 1 minute. You can see it a lot better. On the 5, you can see the wick tops off and then comes right back down. Here's the pullback you're looking for opening range breakup, and it does just that. Goes back up, tests, breaks the high of the day at that time, and you can see heads higher towards these levels. We had the high and low of a level here. This dotted red line again goes right to that level. So again, TIF also traded very, very, very well this morning. Here we have AMD. So AMD just did an engulfing pattern. I didn't see the actual price action because with TIF and ADSK, these guys, and also LCI was very active. We'll talk about that one in a second. AMD, beautiful engulfing crack, guys. We talk about this. Not all the way engulfing, but you can see how this is a great strong reversal pattern. We've seen it quite often. Heads down, cannot continue to make a new low. On the next candle, heads up, goes above the VWAP. Nice pullback here. This is a strong signal for reversal. So if you look at that, it was some good, clean price action. Also, it helped the fact that the SPY was taking off too around this time. It just started going nuts. And you can see here, you can see a nice little pop, and then it just heads higher. Once it breaks out of the VWAP and all these moving averages, guess what it does? It just catches this beautiful 9 EMA all the way towards the top. So again, AMD traded very clean yesterday. That was a great one to also have on your list. Roku was just wild. Roku was just it's a little choppy all over the place. Sold off here and just kind of got into this choppy area. Not really clean trading. It does pop up, but again, in here, I don't see no signal to take this for a long or short. Just was not very clean yesterday. Nvidia also not very clean right off the start. Again, once the market settled in and kind of picked the direction, that's when Nvidia started heading towards the top. But again, right at the open, I don't see anything that was pretty clean right off the moment. You do have a small VWAP reversal here, but these are very tough to trade. So again, not a very clean area. LCI, this was the one that I'm sure a lot of people wish they didn't touch. I mean, it's not a low float, but it moved like a low float. It was priced like a low float. The action was crazy as a low float. Treat it like a low float. Don't trade it. I mean, this thing was just wild. Sold off, sells back up. Look at these wicks. Look at the bodies. I mean, the price action was really all over the place. And this is the type of action you see with low floats, right? So under any normal stock, usually, not always, but usually you will see this pop come up, come test the moving average, and there could be a good chance it's going to come up and retest the high of the day, right? That's a normal ABCD pattern, right? A, B, C, and then you got your D. That we see that quite often, and it's a pattern that works more often than not. Out of nowhere, boom, this drop. If you look at the 1 minute around this time frame, you're gonna see the drop as well. So you lose a couple of cents off the bat. This is type of low flow crap activity that you get sometimes, and this is why low flows are so difficult to trade, because people know this. They know that people are looking for these type of patterns on these low floats, and they dump on you, right? So again, just be very careful with these type of stocks. This one is not a low flow, but I know a lot of traders I spoke to had a hard time trading this one yesterday. All right, guys, let's get into the SPY, see what we have going on. Let's look at SPY. Norm, what do we have today? What's going on in the radar?
Well, the SPY is up for exactly 1% this morning, sitting 291, 292-ish. That is mostly based, or almost entirely based, on China putting out a statement that they're interested in a, quote, calm resolution to trade concerns or trade war issues. So that came out overnight, popped the market up somewhat this morning. We had a batch of various economic data released this morning. The weekly jobless claims number came in at 215,000. That was exactly as expected. GDP was revised for second quarter from 2.1 to 2, which is exactly what was expected. Consumer spending was stronger than expected for Q2. And so that's kind of what's going on this morning. Once again, this week has been crazy to some degree with lowish volume. At least every single day so far this week, I have put myself in a hole at the open. And then the good trades have really been later in the day. And I've talked to a lot of people that have had difficulty trading the open. Just this low volume stuff.
Right.
It's not until something picks a direction and or some kind of news comes out, whether it be a tweet or something else that gives the market a direction and finally gets a little bit of follow through to it. I will say we are at the very end of earnings. When you get into this, when you get into this gappers list this morning, I'm just going to throw it out there. You've got a bunch of low cost retailers that either reported last night or this morning. Burlington, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Ollie. Those are all lower cost. The lower cost end has been performing well. Partially because of recession fears, and they're somewhat recession proof, but also many of them, Ollie being the exception, are growing well, have good same store sales comps, most of them beat on the top and bottom lines and raised guidance. Some of them had a mix of that a little bit. Maybe they missed their top line but hit earnings and such. But we've seen this. The two retailers that released that are really in a hole are Best Buy and Abercrombie this morning, and that's on tariff concerns and guidance for the rest of the year. So, a lot of these out of the mall retailers have been doing well, and the ones in the mall, like Abercrombie, have been hit pretty hard.
Interesting.
That is all I got. That's what I got for you this morning. Nobody wants to go to the mall anymore.
Yep, I'm telling you, the mall is packed, but I think people just joined the AC and just walking around on these hot days. But you're absolutely right. All right, let's. Why is this thing not letting me make some space here? It's weird. All right, here we go. All right, let's make some room over here. Let's go over to our first one here, ARCI. This one is up 36%. Very nice. Let's see what the action actually looks like. Oh, this looks nasty. I want to say it looks like a buyout, but it is a lower price stock, so this could just be some block trades causing this type of activity. 558,000 shares traded so far, but again, not a great pre-market action at all, guys. This is not something you want to be involved with. Let's go look at some of the daily stuff on the daily chart. Again, you got some pops here. It looks like it's great at gapping up and selling down. So again, I don't see anything that I like on this ARCI. Had a decent day a couple of days ago. Came from over $3 all the way up to almost 750. The following day also did some craziness here. Again, just not the
nightmare.
Yeah, this is not the stuff you want to be involved with. What's the float on this? Float, look at this, 1.5. Yeah, this is horrible, guys. So even for the low float stuff, this is not one you want to watch. It doesn't have a good pre-market activity. It just looks like people are just dropping huge orders like this. Look at this, 219,000 shares. You want to see this nice little flow on the low floats, right? So careful with that one. I'm gonna remove that from my list. NTNX popping up here. NTNX is up 20%. That's nice. So NTNX we have traded in the past. It has been in play before. You can see several big drops here, leaving some areas of support. Right now we have 150,000 shares traded. Not the best pre-market activity. Starting from right here, guys, you can see 829. So this is today. So far not the best, but again, it has a lot of time to get better. It's only 8:42 Eastern time, so we'll give this a little bit to get going. I do like what I see on the daily though. We're right back at some areas of support. In the past, right over here, we're above this moving average, and we have some areas also of support and resistance that we can mark down as we get to our second part of this this watch list building. So definitely like NTNX right now at the moment. Any news on this one?
They reported earnings last night, and they beat. They've got. If you pull back on the daily, you can see this thing's dropped real hard in the last several months.
Oh yeah.
So now that it's cleared the 50 on the daily, it could potentially be a nice runner. We'll see.
Yeah, so we'll definitely see it's popping up real nice here. Again, it has been beating up, like you said, for a very long time. Could be due for a decent bounce, so we'll definitely check that out. All right, next we have BURL, and as you mentioned, this is on earnings. This is Burlington, correct? Yep. So as you can see here, we have traded it in the past. Let's get rid of some of these levels. There's a nice little gap here, heading up 11%, leaving some of these areas of prior resistance, breaking out of this 175. So again, this could definitely be in play today. Does not have a great pre-market activity, but usually these nicey stocks, that's how they start off. They don't start all that great. If you zoom in, actually, if you take this candle out of the way, it does get a little bit better. You can see a nice flow to it. So we can definitely keep this one on watch and see what we can get out of this one this morning. So up on some good news. Not the best pre-market activity, but definitely worth taking a deeper dive into that. Let's look at DG. DG is up 8.4, 130,000 shares traded so far. Very similar to Burlington. Dollar General here is, again, just a nice gap up. Also, as Norm mentioned, on earnings. Pre-market activity, not really anything fun to watch here. Very dull at the moment. It is a nicey stock, so hopefully it can get better as it develops towards the open. But right now, not much going on. Is this all-time high on this one? This looks like it's pretty much up there. So let's go back.
I think it is, but I'm not sure.
It looks like it is, guys. All-time high on DG here, Dollar General. So that's good. That's interesting. Definitely one we want to watch. And then how about Burlington? Is that all-time high as well? Just want to go back and check on the weekly here. Just zoom back. Yeah, it is all-time high as well. So both of these are an all-time high. That'll make this a lot more interesting today. What do we have next? Here we have DLTR. So DLTR is Dollar Tree. So this one also up quite a bit, 3.8. Not the cleanest pre-market activity, guys. Doesn't look as great. And then in this one also, it trades a little funky. You got to be very careful with it. It can tend to be very choppy. The few times I have watched it, that has been on the watch list. So just be careful with this one. We'll get some levels for it. Has a nice little breakout here. It seems to have found a bottom, getting above all this resistance that it had here for the last couple of days. Moving averages, highs and lows, previous day close. So now we're stopping right at this will be the 50 or the 200. Looks like the 50, right? So we're stopping right at the 50 here. With some good areas. Here we have a nice daily chart heading down in this area. Here it gets a little crappy, but right here we have a nice daily. We could clearly find some levels. Price action sitting right at a level right now next to that 50, and also some areas of support and resistance. Next we have AMD. Our buddy today is up 2.3, 668,000 shares traded, so quite a bit. Actually traded pretty clean yesterday, guys. Had a really good day. If you get into the details of this day yesterday, you can see a beautiful trend trade towards the top. So today, again, this could be a good one to possibly break out of all this crappiness has been stuck in, right? So all this resistance, all this choppiness in this area, if it can break out of that, it could be very nice. You can clearly see the support and resistance over the last couple of weeks, actually for all of August, right? Since August, we've been stuck within this range here. We kind of broke out a bit and just right back to the bottom of this range. So if we can break out of this 32, we definitely have some potential to head higher. There's no above resistance in regards to moving averages and things of that nature. So we'll keep it on there. MU is up just 2% right now. Not as much activity as AMD, but this one doesn't have the best daily chart. AMD clearly has a better daily chart when it comes to breaking out of that range. So MU not a fan of right now. It does have some volume, but I'm going to remove this one just for I'd rather watch AMD today and give room to other stuff that we have on this list. PDD, guys, is up almost 2%. Again, this thing has gapped up and kind of pretty much held. We had a really bad day. It reminds me of Target, right? I think they both probably gapped up on the same day. Gapped up really nice, and even on the bad day we had with the SPY, where a lot of stocks went right back down, this one held. I think Target also held very well, and now we're possibly could break out of this consolidation period here. So again, not much volume at the moment. Pre-market activity, guys, this is a horrible pre-market activity. This would not.
Yeah, Carl. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I wanted to point out that so the market gapping up 1%, which is a pretty big gap for the SPY, is really, I don't see any individual catalyst on AMD, MU. BABA was on the gappers list recently, PDD. I think it's only on China news. So at least for me and my style, I'm going to stay away from those and go with something that's actually got a catalyst on it.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Again, this one here is just a horrible pre-market activity, guys. Again, it does look nice in the day, like it wants to go long here. But these could be good ones to watch. If, for example, if the SPY starts taking off, guys, we've seen this quite a bit, right? For example, AMD and MU and the JDs. If the SPY takes off in one direction, you don't want to trade the SPY because obviously it's a higher price stock. You could trade something that's a little more within your price range. AMD, JD, those could be good ones to watch, right? But I agree with you 100%. This could be all that move between the Chinese news and what's going on there. So, example, PDD now is below 2%, and also it's just not a great pre-market activity, guys. So I'm just going to remove this one from the list. Out of all of those that Norm was mentioning, probably AMD is the only one I'm going to keep. Those other ones I'm not going to have on our list. Next we have BBY. See BBY here. This one is down 5.7. All right, so this is on news as well. Best Buy, so dropping nicely here. Oh, this is good. I'm assuming earnings as well, Norm, on this one.
Yeah, Best Buy reported earnings. They had mixed results, but the big thing that's really hitting it is they gave some concerning outlook, some concerning guidance for the second half of the year, which once again is I think based on uncertainty with tariffs coming on to electronics over the next few months. So
yeah, so here we have Best Buy again. We got a very nice daily here, guys. A beautiful drop here, and then we also got some areas of support that we're getting into this morning. So pre-market activity looks very great, guys. I do like the volume on this one. Best Buy is definitely trading on its own catalyst, obviously. So definitely one we want to watch this morning. ANF is down 11%. So this is nice. 371,000 shares traded. What do we have as far as the daily? Pre-market activity looks okay. You got some big candles here that might be throwing off the whole entire flow on the 1 minute chart, but it looks okay, not too bad. On the daily, we're right at an area of support. So if you see this here, price is barely holding on to that. If we can break out of that, we can definitely go for a nice run. We'll get some levels on this on the second part of this watch list building. This thing has been beating up pretty nice. You can see here when we lost some good grounds of this level here, and then from there it's been trying to just chopping around, and now we're back at this area we can break down from. Any significant news on ANF this morning? Oh, they're down 11%.
Yeah, they reported earnings, and they're just in a death spiral. I mean, they've got problems with their stores being in malls and decreased mall traffic, and then on top of that, 90+% of their goods would be impacted by tariffs because most of them are produced in China. So that's what's going on.
Yeah, no, this one is definitely taking a nice beating here. All right, next we have Ali. So Ali here down 24%. As Norm mentioned earlier, there's just not a lot of good things going on for these guys right now. But man, their pre-market activity is actually, it actually looks decent. That's a good pre-market activity. The daily is not great though, guys. Very choppy, this daily chart, right? Opposed to the other stuff we've been seeing, like even the ANF, it's not great, but you can see a nice range here, so this looks good. But Ali doesn't have the best daily chart on here. But again, this drop, you cannot foresee how beautiful this drop is. Down 24%. Some good volume here. 500,000 shares traded so far. Just gonna zoom out here and see what we got. Yeah, so we do have some areas, some levels we can get off of Ali as well. So this is interesting, guys. Definitely want to have on our list this morning. Let me see, make sure we covered all our gappers list today. Yep, looks like we have. Norm, what do you like this morning? What are some of your top fours doing? What are your favorites?
NVIDIA is bouncing off the 160 level pretty good this morning. I've got my eye on that. Roku's been a little crazy. It's at the top end of the range. Maybe it'll try for that 150 today. We'll see. And then Apple will probably trade decently, at least based on tariff news. That having been said, I think there's enough on the gappers that those will be well down the list unless something really sets up nicely on them.
Yeah, I agree. We have a lot of this stuff here that's actually moving on its own news and catalysts, like 21%, 11%, 7, 3, so 2. You definitely could tell this is just with the market. So this will be more like my market stock watch today. Then the rest are all just moving independently of what the market is doing. So I see Facebook here also not doing much. But then Roku, man, Roku just keeps on grinding higher. Just a real nice stock to be in if you were holding some stuff on swing there. All right, guys, what do you guys like this morning? What's on your list? What's your favorite? What do you see exciting with some volume or some good daily charts? So we have here TLRY. This is a monster. Wow, this thing is at $20. Holy cow. This thing has never recovered after this nonsense over here.
The poor, can you imagine the poor guy that bought it 300? I hope they got out that
God. Oh, it's just insane. I have to go back to Trading Sim and replay that type of action for that day, because I remember I was watching it and all I needed was popcorn just to make that into a perfect morning of a movie. It was just unbelievable how that thing was moving. All right, guys, so TRY at the moment, again, I don't see a lot of volume on here so far. It's very light, not much going on. It does have a nice drop here, guys, so it's kind of finding some kind of bottom. It's been very weak over the last couple of days, but again, I don't see anything exciting on this one that's going to make this interesting today just yet. Unless you know of any news or anything like that, I don't see anything that looks exciting to watch as your main list off the bat. All right, what else we have? Box. Let's look at Box. So Box is down 7.7. It's got some volume, 211,000 shares traded. This is not showing up here, probably because the ATR is low. ATR right at 44 cents. It's not too bad. Actually, Box is one that we can actually watch here. This one could be interesting. It does got the volume. It is down quite a bit. Pre-market activity is okay, but it's a nicey stock, so hopefully it can get better. Yeah, Box is one that we can get some levels on. Yeah, that's a good one. It's not on our Gapper scanner. It's just because it's a 6 cents off the 50 cents range. GES on the other hand, what do we have here? This one is up 16%. All right, so 16% here. 94,000 shares trade. This is going to come up in our Gapper scanners any minute now.
That looks like a block. Is that a block trade, Carlos?
Let me see here on the details.
It just doesn't look like there's enough price action to justify that.
Yeah, you're right. There's got to be some. I'm not
the
seeing
price action. It doesn't look like. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. But the price action looks terrible on that.
Yeah. So here's the start of the day. I don't see where that 94 is coming in. You have 17 here, but yeah, it doesn't look great. You're right. I didn't look at the details of on the 5. That does not look too good. It will come up here in our gappers list, guys, because it is going to hit over 100,000. But I'm just not seeing where this 94,000 is. That's a lot of volume. I'm not seeing it here, so something's funking there. But if it does get, guys, keep this on your secondary. If it does get a lot of volume and it trades well, you know, it could be part of your secondary list. But we do have so many great ones today. That stuff like this, you know, on a day we don't have a lot, I'll keep it. But when we have all this stuff down 25, 13, 21, 11, 7 with some actual news behind it, that's the stuff you want to watch today. It just gives you a better opportunity to catch something that's going to be moving great. Let's look at TGT and then we'll look at Disney. So TGT this morning, this is love this daily here. Look at this thing, man. It's just so strong, so nice. Gaps up, holds, and now is looking to make all-time highs again. So again, not one that I'm going to watch this morning based on just the action itself and the volume, just not there. But again, if you've been tracking targets, just been amazing to trade. So could be a possible breakout, guys. If it goes, if it goes back towards the high at 107.85 with some volume, though, it needs volume. Right now, it's pretty dead on the volume. Oh, Disney has a nice daily chart. Doesn't have the volume, but I love the fact that you do have this consolidation happening here and a possible breakout. Up 1.4, not a lot, but I see what you're looking at here, Daniel. This looks interesting for a possible breakout. So yeah, definitely keep this one on your list. I'm not gonna have it on my main list because I have too many today. But this one, it definitely has a nice daily chart for a breakout. MICR, we'll do a few more and then we'll start heading over to our announcements. MICR. Oh yeah, not great, guys. No volume. Looks like a penny stock, so we'll skip this one. VEEV. This one was one that was very active yesterday, and today not doing much, guys. Not a lot of volume on this one here. All right, folks. Let me get our announcements up here, and Norm will take you through that, and then if we have time at the end after we chop this list up, we can definitely go back and see what else you guys have on your end.
All right. Well, everybody knows that the Steenbarger interview's on YouTube. If you have not had a chance to check it out yet, go check it out. Reason I still have it up there is because we have another big time interview coming. It will be released next week. Wednesday is the expected release of that, and it is a name as well known as Steenbarger. So I guarantee you that anybody that's been in this room for a decent amount of time will know who this person is. Maybe we'll play a game and give a couple of hints over the next few days. That'll be coming next week, Jordan. No, unfortunately, it would be Adam. If we had him, it would be an R-rated interview, and we are a family-friendly. Well, Mark Douglas is dead, so I hope not Igor.
That would be scary.
So anyway, you guys are extremely close there. I will say that much. So anyway, Andrew's on vacation, Eduardo, until Monday or Tuesday, excuse me. Look at you guys. All right, so DAS is doing their second #1 best trader competition, and it starts next Tuesday, runs for the month of September. Some really cool prizes. Bearable Traders is a sponsor of it. If you win, you get flown up to the NASDAQ for a tour of the NASDAQ, dinner, accommodation, stuff like that. So check it out. The website is onebesttrader.com. You can see it there on the screen. Use the discount code BBTFall15. You'll get $15 off. I believe registration is still $75. Goes up on Monday. So BBT Fall 15 will give you $15 off. It'll also get you tagged as a BBT member. So it was a lot of fun watching the BBT guys. You'll still be anonymous, so don't be afraid if you blow up an account in there. Still just a challenge. We won't know who you are unless you tell us your ID or whatever. But also, we're very honored to have been nominated for the Benzinga FinTech Awards. The voting on that's still going on for a while. If you have not had a chance to look and you enjoy our content, we would much appreciate your vote. It takes about 2 seconds. It's literally 2 clicks from the link. You can vote one time per day per device. Meetups. We've got Bay Area Meetup coming up September 7th and New York Meetup with Dr. Steenbarger in person. We'll be doing a discussion and then having beers with you guys. So I know we're going to have Andrew there. I believe Carlos, Ryan, I think William will be there. So, take a look at that. We do have to have a head count. So there is a registration link with a ticket, even though it's free. And then if you're watching us in the on YouTube and you have not tried the room out where we trade live all day with Andrew and then a slew of other mods, you can try a 1 week trial. Use the discount code premarket24. It's 1 week. It does not auto renew. And this is Thursday. You have any classes tonight, Carlos?
Yeah, we have class number 5, which is risk management, one of my favorite classes. So that's tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Great. And 3 p.m. Eastern will be William's trade review. He's been streaming those on YouTube as well. And guys, if you're watching on YouTube and you want to be updated and get notifications for when those live streams start with William and such, be sure to subscribe. But also, you got to hit the little bell, the notification bell. That way, you'll get a pop up and it'll say, BBT's going live with William's trade review. So anyway, that is it. That's all I got for today.
All right, guys. All right, so let's get into this. Let's chop this list up. So NTNX, guys, I do like this one. Good volume. I like the way it's popping up here, holding on to this 59, 20, 50. So low of the pre-market sitting at 23. 299 to be exact. Above this, we have a level high of your pre-market sitting right at 23.94. So let's mark that down. So we have a nice range here with some good volume. Not the greatest pre-market activity just yet, but I expect this is probably going to break out of this one way or the other, and that's what we're going to be looking for here. So towards the top, you got an area of support and resistance. So this level 24.64 has been tested several times, which is nice. The more a level is tested, the stronger that level is going to be. So you have some clear areas right here. Look how it tried to hold that for a couple of days. Once it couldn't, broke down and it heads down towards the next level. So 24.64, one you definitely want to have on your list. Slightly above that, you have another area of some good testing going on here. 25.81. You got this date here, then several days using that as support, resistance, support, and vice versa over here as well. So again, 25.81 looks like a very good level to have as well. Towards the bottom, you have this beautiful drop all the way down here to 21.98, and then clearly this top here, I don't think we'll get there today. 20.60 is also a great one to have. In here you have a lot of space, but again, guys, as far as recent levels, there's nothing between that gap there. So if it loses at 21.98, be on the lookout for it to drop even further as it had done in the past before. Again, it looks strong today. It looks like it wants to actually head higher and not lower. But again, to have no bias, see what the price action gives you on NTNX this morning. So again, good price action, good activity. Definitely want to keep that on your list. BURL, this one doesn't have the best pre-market activity, but again, it does got some volume. It is gapping up quite a bit, and it looks very strong. And on top of that is that all-time high. So all-time high sitting at 193.36 this morning. In between this beautiful pop here, there's not many levels. You only have the last level of support here in the near area is 184.77. Then below that you have the low of the pre-market. So again, not a lot of levels to go here. This thing has left all the consolidation it did here. The one that it did here just really just blew right through all of this, and now we're sitting at all-time high. So this is a Interesting one to watch in the morning. See how it plays around with this all-time high here at 193.37. And then at the open, guys, just again be very careful, because at the open, I guarantee, not guarantee you, but most likely these type of stocks that gap up this strong, they're going to be some profit taking. So you might get a drop before it actually takes off and tests the high of the pre-market, the all-time high, if it's going to be strong for the rest of the day. So just wait for that. First 5, 10 to 15 minutes to see what this wants to do first. Anyone sitting here on 172, wake up this morning, they're up $20. Guess what? If they're smart, they're going to be taking some stuff out. So wait for those guys to do what they have to do, and then see what the price action is going to give you. 146.51, low of the pre-market on DG. We do got some slight activity here with some, not the greatest volume, not the greatest pre-market activity, but it is gapping up quite a bit as well. 7.8. Your high of your pre-market 153.08. I'm not sure if this one was also an all-time high. Let's go back towards the weekly, see what we have here. Oops. Where's my, here we go, it's my weekly chart. All right, yeah, it looks like all-time high as well, guys. So then this one also very interesting. Look at that daily, how nice that is. This is beautiful pop there. So going down in here, guys, we have 153 high at the pre-market and 146. Then above there, we don't have any other levels. Your next level below the low of the pre-market is this one here, 145. Again, another one that's, you know, if you're sitting here at 140, at 130, 38, 136, and you're waking up this morning, $20 on your extra per share on your account, you know, you're going to be probably thinking about taking shares off. So wait to see what happens at the open, and let's see if this one's going to be a strong one also for the rest of the day. DLTR, this one here, I'm not too sure about this one, just because in the past it has not traded very well for me. It seems to be very choppy, but your high of your pre-market is 106.47. Above this, we have a nice little flat top right here at 112.73. A beautiful resistance here, tested several 2 days, nice double top on the daily before it starts dropping down. Slightly between here, we do have some areas of some pivot points. You can see right on here we have 108.82. You have some areas of resistance, support, resistance, support. Look at that 108 right there, how it held these days from falling off a cliff, and then it kind of tests back this 112.73 before we head right back down. So, and then heading down, look what happens, right? Usually around these areas, when you test a level like this, you come back down, you kind of retest this 108, right? You lose the momentum at least, head back down to the next level, the 106, and then you slowly just start heading even lower. Your price action right now is actually sitting at a great level of prior resistance and support. If you draw a line right through that price action, you're at the moving average as well. So you know what, this is worth marking down. I know the price action is right on there, but this is worth marking down. This 103 exactly is a great area of a level of support to have. Then towards the bottom, guys, you have plenty down here below 100 previous day close, moving averages, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Don't need to add any more in this area because we've been consolidating here, so we have quite a bit all in this area. So right now I'm on the fence on this one, but it does have some good volumes. It is up 3.1. So we'll definitely see what happens after that, after the opening bell. So AMD, I might drop off AMD, guys, because again, these other ones are looking so great. They're gapping up quite a bit. They got some volume. They got some news behind it. AMD, as Norm was mentioning earlier, is one of those stocks that's just kind of moving with the market. It's up because the market is up a bit right now. It's got some great volume because AMD is always going to have that. But at the open, could be one that we just look at later in the mid-morning around 10:30ish or so and see if it's getting into a nice trend trade, or look at the SPY, see if the SPY is doing something exciting that we might want to partake in. So high of the pre-market, just so we have it, is 31.72. The other high over here is at 32.21. Above this, we have a 33. 34, guys, is a huge level for AMD, so mark that down. And then all the way up here, 35. Again, that's a stretch. I don't think we'll get there unless something crazy happens with the market. But if you look at AMD yesterday, as we mentioned before, it traded very well in the intraday. Did a nice little engulfing pattern at the open, and then just took off on a beautiful trend trade all the way up to 31. BBY is another one that I like on the daily. We already tested this area of prior support, low of the pre-market 63.76. You can see here we tested that area here as well, and also what support a couple of months ago. You can see here that where it popped up, it kind of sold up. It was able to break out of that, and then after 4 days, it came right back above that 63.51. So towards the bottom, we're gonna mark that one 61.75. Also, this little spike right over here, this extreme reversal, 62.97. I'm going to mark that down as well. You can see that 62.97 also has several bounces across the board here on these days. So towards the top, we have a beautiful moving average right at 66.04, and you can see how that 66.04 also has some areas of support and resistance, actually more support than anything, right on there. And then towards the top, you have your low and high from the last two trading days around 67.90ish or so. Then up here it just gets very crowded, guys. Don't need to put anything more in here. You got your previous day close, moving averages, your highs from the last two trading days. Definitely don't need to add any more in that area. So we'll see what Best Buy gets today. Again, it's down 5.8. It's hitting this support and bouncing nicely. Let's check out, see how that open handles the volume when it comes in. A&F just seems very weak right now. Made a new low now. The new low now is 1438. Right here, 1531. I'm going to mark this one. That's a nice area of support. Look how that support has several bounces on there. So again, mark that down. Towards the bottom, what do we have towards the bottom here? Are we at all-time low on this thing? Let's look at the weekly. Nope, we're not. Going back to 2017, August, June time frame, we do have an area right here at 11. We also have a nice area here at 1343, and all the way down here. Just going to mark this one just in case. I think that's a stretch, 1066. So we'll take those off the weekly since those are very far out, guys. We're going back almost 2 years, so the weekly chart can be a good one to use for a possible level. So that is what we have on A&F. Some good volume, a nice little drop here, leaving this support area of 1537. Looks like it's trying to find a bounce of this 1438 low of the pre-market that we have. Ali, so Ali here, it's got some good volume. It's down quite a bit, guys, so I'm going to mark down this one here at a high of the pre-market 60.66. Your low is at 55.91. Let's go back here. What do we have? Look at that nice bounce of that 60.64 right there, which is our high of our pre-market. Let's go back and see if we have anything in below here. Okay, so going back end of last year, we do have some areas where we broke out of that 55.98, which is our low of our pre-market right now. Right in here, gray area 54.52. Mark that down. Look at that 54.52. Just boom, heads right back up. One more time, heads right back up. Look at the volume on this day. This was nice here. So again, you got some good areas here of that 54.52. Towards the bottom, we do have another area also. It's a little far out, but this is down to 50.88. We do have an area where you see some bounces as well right in here, but I want to have something in between because that's a stretch. That's very far out. I'm going to mark down this one right here, 53.31. All right, now towards the top, guys, we do have the most recent time we came around this area was here. 65 seems to be an area where we found some support on this beautiful drop, and also you have an area here of loss of momentum around 69.30, so we'll mark that down as well. All right, so that's what we have on Ali. Box, what's going on with Box? Yeah, I like Box actually. Box is trying to recover now. This could be a good possible. We have 12.21 low of the pre-market. Price action hitting the last area of support around 12.85, so we'll mark that down. High of your pre-market slightly above that. I'm not going to mark that now because I think that this 12.79, 12.80 level is a good one. Then above that, you have your highs and lows and moving averages. Previous day close between that 14 and 13.50 area. I'm going to see, do we have anything? Whoa, let's go back. Do we have anything below this low of the pre-market? Because if we do, I would like to have something under that. Yep, going back to the weekly because we're now going back to 2016. Below 12.21, we do have an area right here, guys. You can see that support and resistance 11.55. Just want to have one level below that in case we head back down towards that low of the day and retest that, and if we lose it, just in case. So that is Box. All right, guys, we got quite a bit here. So NTNF, I like. BURL, yeah, I like this one too. DG is all right. You know, I'm going to remove AMD, guys, because we have just too many today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got to get rid of a lot more. At least 2 more here. So Ali's, yeah, I like the way this is trading. ANF, I like the volume. I like the daily and the drop. Best Buy is going to be interesting, I think. DLTR, you know what? I'm going to get rid of this one. Guys, this is a real good one to watch. I'm going to get rid of it personally because it's just been, for me, it tends to be very choppy. So I'm going to get rid of it just for that reason, but it's not a bad stock to watch today. So you keep it on your list if you like what you see there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I got to get rid of one more. NTNX, yeah, I like NTNX. It's moving nicely. Burlington is hitting it high of the day one more time, high of the pre-market. You know what? I'll keep this 7. As we get closer to 9:30, I'll make a decision to drop one off, or I'll try to fit one more in somewhere. But these all look very good, guys. They're dropping or popping up pretty nice with some really good volume. Okay, so we have a really nice watch list to watch this morning. All right, that is what we have. So what we got going on here? So Kurt is watching DG on earnings, NTNX on earnings, BBY on earnings. That's good. We got Ali's. He got GES as well on earnings. All right, and then some possibles. ADSK, yeah, that's a monster yesterday. TIF was a monster yesterday as well. He's watching those as is Box a low flow, Nick? I was not aware Box was a low flow. You know what? I did not check that, and if it is, I'm gonna remove it. No, it's not. It didn't look like a low flow. This one here is 141. Oh, I see what you're saying. You thought it was a low flow because it was separate here, but no, this is a good stock to watch. It's not a low float. All right, our man Eamon is watching ANF, Ollie's, Burlington, NTNX, Roku, DLTR, and PDD as some secondaries, those last 3. Peter on his list has NTNX, DLTR, BBY, Ollie, just very similar to what we have here on our list. DG, BURL, GES, and Box. And Thor is watching BBY, ANF, Box, and NTNX. So very similar watch list. And Norm, what do you like this morning? Do you have your final watch list set up?
I'm still prepping it. I'm going to keep an eye on ADSK. I've got NTNX, Burl, DG, Dollar Tree, BBY, ANF, and Ollie. So essentially the same as most other people in here.
Excellent. All right, guys. Take care, guys, on YouTube. Have a great trading day this Thursday. Trade safe, and we will see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern time for the last day of the week, Friday.
Take care, guys. Trade safe. Just remember, if you want alerts on when we go live and such, whether it be the pre-market show or trade reviews, interviews, anything like that, just hit subscribe and the notification bell on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Take care.